So I'm going to show off what I do uh, in between parts. Right now, there's no audio because I have the emulation paused. What I do when I pause or when I end one is I unpause. This is after I've checked if the recording's gone okay. So then I save. Control R to reset. Go here. Click copy data on my save file. Copy it to my blank save. And I'm good to go. And that's just what I do. This is how I roll. No. Listening back to me in the last part, I sound a little off. I don't know how I sound off, I just do. It might be because I'm at a distance. That might be entirely what it is. Stupid June bug still in here. Okay. I was about to ask the stupid question of why isn't there any ice X in the ice area that there is. I don't know why I was going to ask such a stupid question. I don't know how you're supposed to tell where to go here. Explore, I guess. But this is where you're supposed to go. Oh, actually, I'm gonna drop a bomb in there. A power bomb. Just to make sure I'm not gonna miss anything. Huh. Gravity suit. Gravity suit. This part might be, if I'm quick about it, the last part. Not that I'm gonna try to speedrun it, but this is like the final quarter of the game, so... No, I guess it wouldn't be. It depends on whether... This part's where I get to decide whether or not I want to 100% the game.
Warning, no entry without authorization.
Yep,
Warning,
you have to go touch that gate
without authorization.
to get this.
Warning, no entry without authorization. Warning, no entry without authorization.
I believe this is a save room, or a recharge room? Save room.
Without authorization.
So something's trying to get in. Unless that's specifically... I think that's specifically to the doorway that I was just trying to go into.
No entry without authorization. Warning.
Oh, wrong time. Also, I forgot to mention, but various suit and gravity suit are defense buffs. Here's the here's where I want to do this. Here's a corrupted box spot. Come on. The world, I wasn't aware I could get up on that ledge. It almost did. I don't know how the inclusion of the X-Parasites gave this thing the power to have missiles. Because it didn't have them earlier. It had incendiary charges. So this part is just odd. I should also mention, the diffusion missile doesn't do anything special against bosses. It just doesn't. It might freeze his, like, damage his missile projectiles? I don't remember. And yeah, this is all the boss fight is. Meep. It shoots popsicles at you. No, I joke about it showing popsicles, because when I was a kid, there was a specific gas station my dad would go to, which he knew the owners of. He was native, they were native, so you know he preferred to go there because one, he got prices cheaper, and two, he's supporting members of his own group, so. But we would go there, and they would always have, well, I didn't necessarily always like going there, because I've mentioned my dad a bunch. I don't have any blood with him. He's technically my stepdad, but I don't care. He's my dad. He's the one that raised me. But this is also the same one that passed away not long ago. But he'd take me in, and I'd go look at like the treats that they had, like the freezer cooler, and they always had these things called Twister Pops, and they look just like this. They were just those on a stick. Oh. Metroids. Metroids that do something really weird if you speed it up with an emulator. They just turn into a solid red box. Nope. I don't remember which is which. I think this is a larval. I think this is an alpha. There's a beta. No. Yeah, alpha, beta. I think this is a gamma. Keep it down there. Keep it down. Keep it down there, you young whippersnappers.
Fire alert. This sector will soon be locked down. 60 seconds to isolation
That thing makes... It makes no sense if you haven't paid attention to the story. The Metroids, which is what those are the predator to the X. So that's why it was destroying them and why they attacked it. I never got that when I was a kid. Because this was the first and only Metroid game I had ever played, right? So there was... I didn't know what the heck a Metroid was. And then I played Prime a couple years later and enjoyed it. Samus, you shouldn't have done that. You ignored your orders. You may have to pay a price for that quite soon. And I think this is... Yeah, because this came out before... this came out before Prime. So I think this is the first time Samus actually talked. This came out before Zero, I think. As you can see, the Federation has been secretly working on a Metroid breeding program. For peaceful application only, of course. Please understand, but perhaps you already knew of this program's existence? Certainly you must have had your doubts when you saw Sector 1. SRX, a faithful replica of the SR388 ecosystem. Ideal for raising Alpha, Gamma, Zeta, and even Omegas. Omega Metroids. This research even uncovered techniques for rapid growth. Imagine creating an Omega from a larval Metroid in days. But that research is finished. The X has smelled out its natural enemy, and one of the SAX is on its way here. Or on its way here. One? Are you saying there's more than one SAX? Don't be so surprised, Samus. You know that the X reproduced by asexual division. Because of this mechanism, there are no fewer than 10 SAX on board. And you gotta hunt down all of them. No. Aboard the station. She just doesn't say anything. Samus, you must go. Get out. If you stay too long, the SAX will destroy you. Stop only at a navigation room to uplink to me. I don't know how HQ is going to take this, but you need to report to them immediately. Okay, objective clear? Yep. Now get going. I'll take my popsicle laser gun and leave. The real Adam would have said the same thing about that incident, but he would have softened the blow. He was relentless in his criticism, but he always cared. He was not a machine obsessed with duty. No such compassion could exist in that computer. And then you find out on the other end that she's completely wrong and Adam was just a complete jerkbag. Oh boy, it's this part. Yeah, that's this part. Wait, did these missiles one-shot them now? I wasn't aware that the Fusion missile was an actual damage upgrade for the missile. Also, the first enemies we get to use the Calippo pop-on, or whatever I'm gonna call this laser gun, are bubbles. Okay. So that's the save room. No. Oh, yeah, it did. Now I remember this part. Those of you who have played Super Metroid know of this thing that I immediately killed in one shot. Those are, well, this game's stand-in for the Black Space Pirate. But you can only hit those things in the back. You'll get to see them again in a minute because they appear again on the way back. Okay. I'm not gonna say anything here for a minute, but I am playing, as you'll be able to see. Hooray for Screeching Pterodactyl! A lot of people hate this version of Ridley. I like him. This is my first. Well, this is my first experience with Ridley. This is my first experience with him, so this giant, imposing, scary, menacing bird thing. I had no clue Ridley was just supposed to be like a bony snake dragon. Until I played Zero Mission. So the fact that he's like ripped and full of muscles and just monstrous looking in this game is really cool to me. Screw Attack lets you do this. Screw Attack also lets you do this. Lets you kill enemies by somersaulting into them. That's a save station too. Actually, is it? Let me check. Yeah, it is. Okay. Oh no, I don't think you actually have to fight the gold guy to leave. Yeah, the trick with him is you have to get close, and then he jumps over you. And then you just shoot him in the back. I believe that's actually the only enemy that can, well, one of two enemies that cannot be, no, one of three technically, that can't be damaged by a Screw Attack. Two of which being bosses, so that's the only normal enemy. So, this thing also lets you break those weird looking blocks we haven't been able to break yet. Lets you break these blocks. Which is kind of nice. Okay, where am I? I'm down here. This is actually where I'm contemplating whether or not I should do 100%. Because how this works, once you go to a navigation room, you're locked into the end of the game, and you can't come back into the sectors. So, if you're gonna 100% the game, you do it now. That's just how this works. Get my timing on the screw attack wrong. So there's this room. We encountered all the way back in part 2. Or part 1? I don't remember. What part we were doing the, lava stuff in. You're supposed to. If you want 100% the game, you have to go here. And... I'm gonna go... I think I'm gonna beat the game the way I am now. And then decide whether or not I want to do 100% on the, finale thing. Because now is when you would go and do 100%. However, there's an issue with 100% in this game. If you beat the game, it's better if you wait till beat the game before you try to 100% it. However, there's a caveat to that I'll show off. Oh, actually, yeah, wait a second. Where's the nearest normal save room? Yeah, where's the nearest normal save station? That one all the way over there. The one on the far right, I'm going to cut until I get there. Actually, no, I'm going to go over and save at it, and then come back. So I'll see you in a minute. And I'm back. I just went off and saved. The use of speed up is really nice. You should save. This one would technically be a safe bet, but I went over there just in case. Because here's plot. Samus, we're done here. Leave the rest of the Federation. We should be preparing to evacuate the station. Are you joking? Do they know how dangerous the X are? How quickly they reproduce? The Federation has taken an interest in the X and the SAX. They believe this life form has endless potential applications. Endless potential applications. That wording doesn't really sound the greatest to me. This is ridiculous. The X are heartless abominations. What potential could they have? It's not necessary that you understand such matters. Federation is coming now. You should just leave quietly. This is madness. They won't stand a chance here. The station will devour them. What could be worth that risk, or could be worth the risk? Capturing the SAX, of course. Are you serious? Do they really think they can succeed? It will certainly be difficult. They don't expect your help. They knew you would try to destroy the SAX. That's why they stopped sending you support data. The plasma beam modification was ready some time ago, but they withheld it to keep you from engaging the SAX. Yet somehow you restored that function on your own. They also tried to withhold the diffusion missile upgrade, because they didn't want you to grow too powerful. But they had already sent it, and you tracked it down. Bravo, Samus. They must cancel this mission. Open a channel to HQ. I won't let this happen. I can't do that, Hal. They are already on their way. Fools. Oh, a ton of exposition. My throat. Dr. Pepper, help me. Oh, I love Dr. Pepper. As soon as the Federation ships land, the X will overwhelm them and absorb the knowledge and power of their occupants. The X are just waiting for the hunt to begin, and then they'll spread across the universe. Galactic civilization will end. The X hunger for form, knowledge, and power. They mimic these perfectly, but they cannot copy the soul. They're single-minded, instinctively seeking to increase in number. They're a plague, and the Federation underestimates their threat. Samus, you've been on the ship for like 5 hours total. The X must not leave here. I must destroy them all before the Federation arrives. The station has a self-destruct mechanism. I must use it to destroy the X here. And on the planet, I must send them to oblivion. I must use it to destroy the X here and on the planet. I must send them to oblivion, them, the station, and myself if I have to. I don't know why Samus is so hell-bent on protecting the universe. Like, yeah, she's a bounty hunter. She loses money. But she hasn't particularly cared about the universe. Also, the doors are locked. Open the goddamn door, Hal! I can't do that. I don't remember what his name is. Hal's the name of the... no. Yeah, Hal's the name of the computer. Is it Dave? I can't do that, Dave. I don't remember. No, I have been ordered to confine you here until the ship arrives. Our ships arrive. Don't let them do this. Can't you see what will happen, Adam? Adam? She goes quiet for a bit. Who is Adam? A friend of mine. And what would this friend advise you to do now? He would know that the only way to end this is to start the self-destruct cycle. He'd know how important it is. Did this Adam care for you? Or care for you? Would he sit in a safe command room and order you to die? He would understand that some must live and some must die. He knew what it meant. He made that sacrifice once. So he chose life for you, our fair warrior Samus Aran. I think that's like the first time you ever get to see her last name. Your Adam gave his life so that you might keep yours. For the sake of the universe? How foolish. How dare you? How could you hope to understand, machine? You know that detonating the station at higher orbit would not guarantee the complete extinction of the X-parasites, even though the station would be utterly destroyed. You would only succeed in removing the one obstacle to the galaxy's ruin. Yourself. You would ignore the simple fact and choose death? When Adam decided who would live, he chose incorrectly. If you were to alter the station's orbit, then you might be able to include the planet in the vaporization field of the self-destruct detonation. I gotta stop reading the end of a text box as if that's the end of the sentence. Because that's what's messing me up, is I'm reading the end of a text box as if it's the end of the sentence. You would have to start the propulsion sequence now, before the Federation arrives. No, let them get on board and then crash the ship. Kill them too. They're the morons who want to come over and poke a live bear. Samus, this is your last mission. Go to the operations room and adjust the station's orbit to crash into the planet. Or to intercept SR-388. I paraphrased there because I didn't know if the stupid zoom in on her face would have sped up the text box. Then return to your ship and escape. Move quickly and stay alive. That's an order. Any objections, lady? And now, the reason I said go save at another station is one of two reasons. You can't return. So once you click on this navigation booth and talk to Adam, or any navigation booth if you use those little in-between warp zones. As soon as you talk to Adam at a navigation booth within a beginning of an act or beginning of a sector, you are locked into the end game, barring one exception. I'll just go ahead and say the exception. If you beat the game and then choose to continue from your save file, you'll load in at the last save station you used. That event will still play out if you talk to him. However, those doors will not be locked. And it's actually better to do it that way for completion's sake, because you get a percentage total of everything you've been collecting. Oh. Power bomb tank acquired. So yeah, right now I recommend collecting as much as you can. Or, sorry, in that part, I recommend collecting as much as you can until you're comfortable to beat the game. Beat the game, and then unlock the full station. Because the station, it kind of railroads you to where you can go here. Which is kind of silly. But, oh well. Door's locked. Door's locked. Kinda hard to see what was going on there, but this thing's now attacking. Missiles do not hurt it. I don't know. I say it because the game stripe says the X parasites are asexual, which means it doesn't have a gender. No, asexual in this sense. And then there's this thing. Why does it just mutate in some weird alien? Like, why? Oh. Ice beam. No! Get back here! Just always making save states. Does that actually pop up anything bad? No, it doesn't. Okay. You gotta do it again.
Propulsion sequence activated. Destination, planet SR-388.
I'm gonna mute for a few seconds, but
Propulsion sequence activated. Destination, planet SR-388.
I know it's kind of overused. Like, it wasn't his actual theme to begin with, but it's become Ridley's main theme. And it is kind of overused in the series. This song's got some pretty good versions. This song's got some pretty good versions, and then it just abruptly ends. You can't damage this thing. And it almost kills you in one shot, so...
2 minutes to destination.
Because it's a cutscene. I never understood this part. Like, why does the X... I guess because it's an Omega? It deems it a bigger threat than Samus? I don't know how you're supposed to get up from this anytime it hits you. What's that weird, like, dancing spiral? The only time you get to have the ice beam in this game. It's got custom sprite work and everything. Oh well. I still don't understand how that tiny space station is able to just completely disintegrate a planet. But oh well. That perfect military mind, the wisdom of Adam Malkovich, continued to serve even after death. Until today, I had no idea that the minds of leaders and scientists were frequently uploaded to computers. Oh, so they do actually explain why he's just the computer. Because yeah, no, the robot is Adam. The same Adam that you see in Other M and her father figure and all that. That just is Adam. Which I wasn't aware that the games explain. Because I haven't played this game in a long time. Huh. Interesting. I didn't know the game actually explained that. My incredible reunion with Adam may have saved the universe. But how will the beings of the universe view our resolve? I doubt they will understand what we did, the danger we barely averted. They will hold tribunals and investigations. They will hold us responsible. Adam understood this, and he spoke to me in my anger. No worry. One of them will understand. One of them must. I've reflected upon his words, and I see the wisdom in them. We are all bound by our experiences. They are the limits of our consciousness. But in the end, the human soul will ever reach for the truth. This is what Adam taught me. Just one detail still bothers me. This ship can only be started manually, yet before I faced the Omega Metroid, the ship moved on its own, guided by someone's hands. Is it possible? Adam? Yeah, guided by someone's hands, yeah, the machine. Lady, what's troubling you? So does this mean he's just... Yeah, it means he's Adam throughout the whole game. So he's just hiding the fact from her throughout the whole... Well, yeah, I guess because he has orders. In Other M, they sure have saying that he's... mission's more important than anything else. Because in Other M, he lets his own brother die for the sake of a mission. Was it his brother or his son or someone important? I don't care. I don't know. You wonder how I started the ship? Just think about it. They lent me a hand. These things, The Etakuns. The Etakuns, I think, are the little blue guys, and the Dracora are the ostriches. They teach you wall jumping and speed boost in Super Metroid, respectively. And yeah, that's the game. That's the game's over. Not a lot of names I recognize here. Just because weirdness. Samus assigned Sano. How does Japanese names work again? It's last name, first name, right? Last name is what's on the left. Like that would be Yoshinora Katsuki, I think. I know, yeah, anime, but I don't know how accurate that is. Yeah, go into the red zone. Let's be loud. Frickin' OBS. OBS is weird with the mic because I get the little bar that tells me my current volume, but then there's two little boxes on the far left that are like my most recent peaks, or like my most recent average within like a second, which is stupid. Super Mario Club is the debug group for just Nintendo, which is nice. I don't know if we'll see Satoru Iwata's name. I don't know if he was ever slapped on the Metroid things. I think he may have been because he was just a Nintendo guy. Man, it was one person for each of the translation teams. That's absurd. There you go. There's Satoru Iwata. That's a sad name to see. Hey, if you've ever played any Metroid games, I probably didn't. I probably did not get something good. No, yeah, just generic, slow. Yeah, slow, not 100%. Yeah, faster than my personal. And about the same amount of items. I think I actually got 67 on my other one. This is a background picture. You get different ones depending on how well you do in the game. So if you beat it faster with more items, you get different pictures. The pictures are typically just Samus more scantily clad, her showing off more skin, her looking sexier, for lack of a better terminology. One of the rare times she's shown smiling. So, upon being in the game, you get a little Metroid icon. And then you go to... If you start the game, it loads you back where you were. However, you have a nifty little stat tracker now. There's a nice little tracking system. That just keeps track of all the all the stuff that you've collected in an area. And as previously mentioned, I'm not going to show it off again. During this mode, if you go and talk to Adam in the navigation room, it does not lock you into the recharge room. So, like earlier I had all the missiles in the area, but because I hadn't beaten the game and I hadn't gotten a little tracker, that little marker up at the top wasn't shown. So, unless you know the amounts per area, you should do it this way, so you actually know how much you have. Because some areas only have a couple items. Well, anyway. Whether or not I do 100% is... No. I'm probably just going to show all the endings here. And how you get them. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.